I'm going to tell the truth about everything we know and we don't know about vaccines.
Are you recommending the measles vaccine or
I
not?
am not going to just tell people everything is safe and effective if I know that there's issues. I need to respect people's intelligence.
I think you're answering the question. I think you're
And
answering
the reason
the question. That's really dangerous for the American public and for families.
Senator Chris Murphy just had a full-blown meltdown during a Senate hearing with Secretary Robert F. Kennedy, Jr. And let me tell you, folks, it was revealing. Let's break down what happened and what it means.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Secretary Kennedy, I want to talk to you about your relationship with this committee and this Congress. I want to talk to you about the statements that you made to the chairman of this committee and to members of this committee during your confirmation hearing about vaccines. You didn't tell the truth. I find that to be really dangerous for our relationship. If I were the chairman who believes in vaccines and voted for you because he believed what you said about supporting vaccines, my head would be exploding. In the hearing, you told us, quote, I will not work to impound, divert, or otherwise reduce any funding appropriated by Congress for the purpose of vaccination programs. That's not the truth. You've done exactly. Let me finish my question.
Murphy came in hot. He accused RFK Jr. of lying to the committee. He claims that Kennedy said during his confirmation hearing he wouldn't cut vaccine funding, but then, according to Murphy, $12 billion in public health grants were canceled, money that supposedly went to tracking and administering vaccines. Now here's the first problem. Murphy never lets Kennedy respond. He talks over him. Let's be real. $12 billion in public health grants is not the same thing as $12 billion directly for vaccines. That money often gets funneled into bloated health departments, bureaucratic black holes, and surveillance programs that have more to do with controlling the public than protecting it.
I didn't hear what you said. I'm just asking you to repeat it so I can understand your question.
During the hearing, I'll repeat it. During the hearing, you said to this committee and to the Finance Committee, I will not work to impound, divert, or otherwise reduce funding appropriated by Congress for the purpose of vaccination programs. That is not what happened. You've done the opposite. You canceled $12 billion in grants to the states, including my state, that are used to administer and track vaccines. You promised Chairman Cassidy.
When did I do that?
Madam Chair, would you allow me to finish my question?
Keep going with your question.
When did I do that?
Let me finish my question.
Accusation. Just tell me when I did it so I can understand what the question is.
You have canceled $12 billion in public health grants to states, whether you know this or not. That funding is used by the states in part to be able to administer and dispense information about vaccines. Mr. Secretary, let me give you the full panoply of
accusations,
the things you said before.
This hearing wasn't about public health. It was about power. It was about a corrupt system desperately trying to hold on to control, lashing out at a man who threatens to expose its lies. Not with conspiracy theories, but with cold, hard facts.
For this committee that didn't turn out to be true. You also promised Chairman Cassidy that the FDA would not change vaccine standards from, quote, historical norms. But what happened as soon as you were sworn in? You announced new standards for vaccine approvals that you proudly referred to in your own press release as a radical departure from current practice. And experts say that that departure will delay approvals. You also said specific to the measles vaccine that you support the measles vaccine, but you have consistently been undermining the measles vaccine.
Then we get to the part that really sets Murphy off. Kennedy's honest comments about the measles vaccine. Kennedy said the measles vaccine wanes quickly. He said it was never fully tested for safety. He said it contains fetal debris. And what did Kennedy say in response to Murphy's anger? All true. Do you want me to lie to the public? Murphy didn't deny the facts. He didn't refute them. He just hated that they were being said out loud.
And you told the public that the vaccine wanes very quickly. You went on the Dr. Phil show and said that the measles vaccine was never fully tested for safety. You said there's fetal debris in the measles vaccine. And this morning—
All true.
This morning in
Do
front of—
Do you want me to lie to the public?
That's not— none of that is—
Of course it's true. Of course it's true, Senator. You're Senator begging your product. You do not know what you're talking about.
For the record—
Let's have a little bit of order so that you can get
Madam
your
Chair,
question
I'm
and we can get
I didn't ask for a response yet.
I understand
I'd like
that.
to lay out the predicate of my question before I'm interrupted by the witness. He should have some respect for this committee.
Go ahead.
Just this morning in front of the House of Representatives, you also said that you, in fact, would not recommend that kids get vaccinated for measles. You said you would just lay out the pros and cons.
When Kennedy said he wouldn't recommend the measles vaccine to every child blindly, but instead would lay out the pros and cons, Murphy lost it. Because, God forbid parents make informed decisions.
Okay, so this is the summation of everything that you have said to compromise people's faith in the measles vaccine in particular is contrary to what you said before this committee. You said you support the measles vaccine, but then you have laid out a set of facts that are contested, and I will submit information for the record from experts who contest what you've said about the vaccine. And the result is to undermine faith in the vaccine. It's kind of like saying, listen, I think you should swim in that lake, but, the lake is probably toxic, and there's probably a ton of snakes and alligators in that lake, but I think you should swim in it. Nobody's going to swim in that lake if that's what you say. And so I want you to acknowledge that when you say you support the measles vaccine and then go out and repeatedly undermine the vaccine with information that is contested by public health experts, that is not supporting the vaccine. And so I guess I have two simple questions for you. One is, can you clarify what you said in the House this morning? Are you or are you not recommending that families get their children vaccinated, or are you just giving people the pros and cons?
They've spent years building a narrative around vaccines that cannot be questioned. Doesn't matter if the science changes, doesn't matter if injuries are reported, doesn't matter if efficacy wanes, you're not allowed to notice. But Kennedy did notice, and he had the guts to say it.
And do you understand that when you say these things about the measles vaccine, what ends up happening is less people get the vaccine? That may be what you want, but do you understand that the result of constantly questioning the efficacy or safety of the vaccine results in less people getting the vaccine? So I don't necessarily want to spend the remaining 20 seconds in an argument over the science, but do you at least understand that that's the consequence of what you're saying? And are you actually still recommending people get the vaccine, or are you not?
Senator, if I advised you to swim in a lake that I knew there to be alligators in, wouldn't you want me to tell you there were alligators in it?
So are you recommending the measles vaccine or not?
What I've said and what I said in...
Doesn't sound like you are, if that's...
Are you going to let me answer? Or are you going to keep interrupting?
Are you or are you not?
Are you going to let me answer? What I pledged before this committee during my confirmation is that I would tell the truth, that I would have radical transparency. I'm going to tell the truth about everything we know and we don't know about vaccines.
Are you recommending the measles vaccine or not?
I am not going to just tell people everything is safe and effective if I know that there's issues. I need to respect people's intelligence.
I think you're answering the question. I think you're
And
answering
the reason
the question. That's
that
really dangerous for the American public and for families.
The reason people have lost faith in this program is because they've been lied to by public officials for year after year after year.
No longer recommending the measles vaccine.
Senator Marshall.
And when RFK Jr. calmly says, "Do you want me to lie to the public?" he's forcing these people to confront something they hate. Chris Murphy and his friends in Washington want you to believe that trusting government equals safety. But real safety, real liberty, comes from accountability, from transparency, from informed consent. You want to vaccinate your kid? That's your right. You want to ask questions about it? That should be your right too. But this exchange showed us just how far they'll go to crush anyone who doesn't obey. Thanks for watching. Share, and leave a comment below, and don't forget to subscribe.